Do you hear that? That is the sound of a child abuse victim asking for help. These young victims have no voice. They can't ask for help. They can't cry out for change. They cannot speak up against their abusers. Each year in the United States, nearly 1 million children are victims of child abuse and neglect. Almost 9,000 of those children are here in Colorado. In 1 year, 35 of them died. But at Kempe, we are helping to change the life story of these young victims.
This is my story about my son, Billy. We actually fled a very abusive situation. He was 4 years old at that point. My son started exploding into different odd tendency behaviors. And he was touching children inappropriately. He was looking under stall doors. He was having accidents a lot, and he was also having regular nightmares. The safe house was who referred us to the Kempe Center. She said they're awesome, they work with children, they would know what is wrong with your son. So I was petrified to go through the doors. Got in the doors and met Dr. Kelly. It took her 1 hour to evaluate my son, and she found that he was sexually molested within that hour frame. He disclosed it through playing puppets, with Dr. Kelly playing firemen. Then Dr. Kelly scheduled him on weekly sessions, and he was in session with her for 2.5 years. Within 1 month of having therapy at the Kempe Center, he improved. He would tell me bits and pieces of things that had happened, such as his dad hit him with the board 10 times, which I was unaware of. He became more open with me, so it was good to see healing and an openness in him. I had a court date that had approached. It was for custody of my son and to continue my permanent protective order. And she appeared in the courthouse once for me on behalf of my son. And with her testimony, I walked out of the courtroom and he was not allowed to see his dad after that, and I remained with full custody. I got full custody of my son. Going to the Kempe Child Protection Team was a very big impact for me and my son. He was no longer cussing as much, feeling unhappy, the nightmares decreased, and in fact, it improved so much that I was able to put him in school when he turned 5. And we would not be where we are today without the help of the team.
This is the story of Mariah. She came into our program when she was just a couple months old, and she had been placed into the system because she had been born just about 3 months premature. She was only a couple pounds at birth. Her mom, unfortunately, had been doing drugs and had gone into labor, obviously, very early. When we first started seeing Mariah, we saw her when she was about 3 months old. She didn't like to be touched a lot of the time because it was very overstimulating for her. She also had some vision issues. She couldn't really move her body like a typical baby would at her age. And each time we see them, we do a developmental evaluation, and we use the results to help inform the caregivers, the parents, the professionals working with the child to understand where the child is developmentally and emotionally, and then make recommendations for services such as occupational therapy, physical therapy. We enrolled them in our program where we do the intensive infant mental health intervention, and so they were able to have one of our specialized therapists go out every week to the home and really help the caregiver understand much more about what Mariah would need in terms of her emotions and her care. 3 months later, she was making progress in the sense that she was starting to be able to move her head a little bit more. To really be able to even look at people was a major accomplishment for her. And each time she looked happier, she looked healthier, She was able to really be touched and hugged like you want a child to want to be hugged, and just developing a really wonderful relationship with her new adoptive family. The latest time that we saw Mariah, she was 3 years old, and pretty much all her motor problems are gone. She can move her body, she can run, she can jump, just like a typical 3-year-old. Those first 3 years of what we gave and what everybody else gave to her made a huge difference in who she is today and who she'll be tomorrow.
This is the story of Kelly. Kelly was outgoing and engaging and so sweet, and huge empathy, and a very caring little girl. Kelly was sexually assaulted when she was 3. It just devastated the whole family. We all were assaulted on some level. Just took us all to our knees. We noticed huge changes in her. She became so angry and aggressive and fearful and clinging to everyone. She wouldn't let you out of her sight. Everything about her had escalated to a 10. You know, what she would hear, what she would see, she was louder. Everything about her was just in total fight or flight mode. Callie started seeing the therapist twice a week, and that's when we were referred to the Kempe Center. They enrolled her in their therapeutic preschool program. It's a like a 4-hour program in the mornings, and it's a therapeutic setting where they're able to interact with their peers, but it's a healthy and healing environment. We would drive every day an hour to school, and I would wait, hang out in the car, the lobby, and help out in the preschool. If the Kempe Center wasn't there, I truly do not know what we would have done. Being able to go into a structured environment when all of her needs are being met was such a huge comfort. Kelly is 5 now, and it's so awesome to see pieces of the old Kelly again, where she's the sweet, nurturing little girl who has that empathy again, and who has that compassion, and isn't so angry, because for a while there we lost that Kelly. It's such a huge achievement for her to graduate the Kempe for her, but it's a happy day, and where you move on. And we've enrolled Kelly into public school, and she's started kindergarten, and she's doing amazing.